You learned in the last lesson how to compile this median rent data for the counties in the Davidson County, Tennessee area, and also how to do some calculations aimed at expressing the median monthly rent um, in terms of what hourly wage you would need in order to comfortably afford that rent, and how many minimum wage jobs you would have to work or have in the household in order to comfortably afford that median rent. So there's some interesting stuff here that we could write about journalistically, and any story that we would write would be greatly enhanced by a graphic that would let visitors and readers of the story see quickly how the different the counties that we're looking at here compare in terms of their median rent. In Google Sheets, it's drop dead easy to make a chart. Google Sheets will use artificial intelligence to try to guess what kind of a chart that you need, and we'll show that to you. And if it's not the chart you want, you can change it, and you can also modify the chart and add features through a easy, intuitive point and click interface. So that's what I'm going to cover in this video. Let's start with making just a basic column chart where we have a column for each county: Davidson, Robertson, Rutherford, Sumner, Williamson, and Wilson. And the height of the column in the chart is going to tell us, or it's going to indicate the dollar amount of the minimum wage for that county. And that makes it really easy to just look at the chart and see how the different counties compare in terms of their median rent. All you have to do is highlight the data, the information that you want to include in this chart. In this case, obviously, we're going to want the median rent, so I'm going to just highlight that. Just hold the mouse button down and drag so that's highlighted. And then I'm also going to need the county names over here as part of the chart. Now, if I just try to do what I did a second ago and just try to highlight them, I can do that, but notice how the highlighting of the median rent figures over here disappeared because you can only highlight one column at a time, right? There's an easy way around this, though. Just highlight the first column you want, and then hold down the Control key if you're using a PC, the Command key if you're using a Mac, and then you can highlight other columns and preserve the highlighting somewhere else that you've already done. So now that I've done that, all I have to do is click Insert and Chart, and that easy. There's my my column chart. Let me scroll down a little bit here so this is in view, and you can see that we have the median rent here on the vertical axis, ranging from $0 to $2,000, which is just a little bit higher than the maximum rent. We have the counties, the county names on the horizontal axis here. They're nice and short. Remember, we shortened them in the last lesson by deleting the space county, comma Tennessee text that was part of the name. These are short enough to actually fit. If they were too long, they would either angle, which is okay, or they would truncate. Like if we had left this to be Davidson County, comma Tennessee, then it might come out as Davidson County, comma TEN dot dot dot, and you'd have this kind of ellipses at the end of the name. And if you see that, it really means you need to shorten those names. What you don't want to do is take this chart and grab this little resizing button over here and make the chart wider. That can give you more room down here on the horizontal axis and make your labels appear, and that may seem terrific. But when you go to embed this chart in your WordPress post, what you'll find is that it is wider than the width that WordPress allows, and it's going to have scroll bars above it, horizontal scroll bars. It's going to look kind of ugly. So it's really best to just take the default width that you get when you create the chart. I'm just going to hit undo so I can undo that resizing. If you do accidentally resize a chart, that's one way to get back, is just use the undo button. You can also just regenerate the chart like this. I've got the data highlighted. Just generate it again, and you get the default width. It's just fine to make the chart taller. See how I can grab this button here, this resize box here, and stretch it up a little higher. In fact, it kind of looks better if I do that. Just don't change the width because that's going to mess up your embedding of the chart. But so that's a pretty good start. This isn't the ultimate chart that we're going to make and embed. I just wanted you to see how easy it is. What's missing from this chart, in addition to some formatting stuff that I'll cover later, is remember we have this additional information that we got from the Census Bureau. We have the error margin. Remember that? That's the kind of width around the median rent that represents the Census Bureau's best guess to what the actual median rent is in a given county. What you would find to be the median rent if you had examined the rent for every single apartment in the county, which is not what happened. This is a random sample of those. So this error margin kind of gives you a range for the guess. It's probably the median rent, probably pretty close to the median rent, but it could be anywhere from the median rent minus the error margin to the median rent plus the error margin. And remember, we calculated that right. Let's see. In this column, this is the from column. This is just basically the median rent minus the error margin. And the to column, this is the median rent plus the error margin. And so what that means is that in Davidson County, the median rent is $1,192 in the survey results, and the actual median rent in the county is probably 90% sure, probably somewhere between $1,167 a month and $1,217 a month. So that's good, useful information. It kind of gives the range of rents, and it'd be nice to be able to add that to the chart. So I'll show you in the next video how to make a chart that displays not only the bars that we have here, but also just kind of indicates what that rent is. But in the meantime, notice what you've got here. This is pretty cool. It's an interactive chart. If you mouse over one of the bars, a little detail window pops up and shows you what the median rent is. It's getting these labels here. It's getting the county name, in this case Sumner, from this column right here, specifically right there, and it's getting the actual median rent figure from this column of media rents right here, and it's getting the labels as well. See, you've got the Sumner label and the median rent label. It's getting those from the column labels right here. If I change this in some way, let's say I capitalize the R in rent. See, I made that change. Now if I go back to the chart and mouse over, see how the R in rent is capitalized? Because it's drawing that label directly from the whatever text is right here. So I'll change it back just to keep things consistent here. But so this is a pretty handy tool, and you'll see in an upcoming video how easy it is to share and embed this chart in your WordPress post. But that's all for this video. In the next video, I'll show you how to make an even better chart that incorporates that error margin information.